Hello and welcome to this lecture. Today we are going to discuss alcoholic liver disease and I'm going to present the case of a patient age 48 has just left the hospital. He was hit by a car as he inadvertently veered his way home by bicycle from a rugby club dinner. He lost his license for drinking driving a year ago. His injuries were mild, but he had hit his head and cracked his skull, so he was kept for observation. After a day, the nurse noted that he was plucking agit- agitatedly, agitatedly at his sheet. He was also sweating with a tachycardia and rapid breathing. The registrar diagnosed delirium tremens caused by acute alcohol withdrawal. The patient claim at the time of admission was that he only drank socially. A psychiatric referral was made, but the patient denied an alcohol problem and discharged himself. So the learning objective of our case study is how excessive consumption of alcohol affect the liver, discuss the morphology of alcohol liver disease, understand the pathogenesis and clinical features of ALD. When we talk about alcohol liver disease, it is a well-known cause of fatty liver in adults that is responsible for steatosis, steatohepatitis, or cirrhosis. Between 90 to 100% of heavy drinkers develop fatty liver, and 10 to 35% develop alcoholic hepatitis, whereas only 8 to 20% of chronic alcoholic develop cirrhosis. Fibrosis may develop, and hepatocellular carcinoma arises in 10 to 20% patients with alcoholic cirrhosis. It is also responsible for insulin resistance that leads to diabetic mellitus, obesity, and later on hypertension such as portal hypertension, dyslipidemia, which related to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. When we take a look at the morphology, the key characteristic that we will found is hepatocellular steatosis. Macroscopically, the fatty liver is widespread steatosis, having large, soft, yellow, and greasy structure. You can memorize with LSYG. L stand for large, S stand for soft, Y stand for yellow, G stand for greasy. And in steatohepatitis, the three main characteristics will be found under the microscope. One is the hepatocyte ballooning, then the formation of Mallory-Dank bodies, and the third one is neutrophil infiltration. If you take a look of this picture, you can see these three characteristics: hepatocytes ballooning, the cells become swelling, the formation of Mallory-Dank bodies, and then you can see the neutrophil infiltration. This is another picture of alcoholic hepatitis with clustered inflammatory cells marking at the site of necrotic hepatocytes, and a Mallory-Dank body is present in another hepatocyte in the arrow. So actually this is a clear picture of a Mallory-Dank body. And actually when we talk about the characteristics, I already discussed hepatocyte ballooning, Mallory-Dank bodies, and neutrophil infiltrations. These are the three main characteristics that will be found. If you take a look of this first picture, you may found that these structures, there are so many round structures. So they will be the hepatocytes, they are swell up, enlarged, and they appear like a balloon-like structure. So that is why the hepatocyte ballooning is the first character. When we take a look of Mallory-Dank body, I cannot able to see from that picture because it is not clearly zoomed. So in this picture, you can see that the arrow that is showing over there they are showing you the presence of Mallory Dung body, or this one is also showing you the presence of Mallory Dung bodies. And in this picture, they're also going to explain that steatohepatitis with many balloon hepatocytes, arrowheads. Again, they are talking about the same thing. These round structures showing you the presence of ballooning of the hepatocytes. And they mentioned that cluster of inflammatory cells also seen. As you can see that there are different clusters of cells which confirm the presence of neutrophils. And then we can see that what will happen that when Mallory Dung bodies will be produced, actually it make the cytoplasm empty. So the cytoplasm is not actually present. This is a picture of the dotted line. If you take a look of this, they are showing you this another dotted line picture, and they mention further thing that in detail immunostaining they found keratin 8 and keratin 18 in brown structure. This brown structure, they're showing you the presence of keratin. And actually, what is the function of keratin? They are responsible actually for the structural and functional integrity or balance of the hepatocytes in the liver, and they providing the strength inside the cells, hepatocytes. And actually, when liver cirrhosis occur or when hepatosteatosis occur, the keratin actually collapse. And when the keratin collapse, there will be an initiation of apoptosis. So you can see that they mentioned that this dotted line, in this dotted line, they're showing you that keratin are collapse into the Mallory Dung body. What is a Mallory Dung body? We already discussed this dark structure, these bodies, and in these bodies, actually inside the keratin collapse, and they appear when we zoom them after immunostaining. These look like this structure, and leaving cytoplasm empty, because these keratin are present inside the cell and they're providing the support to the cell. But with steatohepatitis, there will be the collapse of the keratin and then collapse of the hepatocytes. So what happened when we take a look of morphology? In the early course, the liver is yellow tan, they are fatty, enlarged, and with time it become brown, shrunken, and contain of cirrhotic nodules. And if you take a look of these round structure, they are nodules. If we can say in simple word, they are projections, like round projections, node like projection. And you can see the color is yellow tan and fatty and enlarged. So when you take a look of the cycle, and this could be reversible with a normal liver. When the normal liver, there will be changes, fatty changes, and there will be perivenular fibrosis. Then it is steatosis. It could be reversible because of the exposure of the alcohol, and if the alcohol as an exposure or the risk factor removed, the liver will become normal. But if this persistent, as we mentioned, the continuous exposure, then we go to the cirrhosis, where there will be fibrosis and hyperplastic nodules. And on the other side, if a normal liver exposed to severe exposure, if a normal liver, on the other side, if there is severe exposure because of the virus like hepatitis A, B, C, then there will be cell necrosis, inflammation, Mallory bodies, fatty changes. And then if the attack is repeated, then it leads to cirrhosis. So you can see that this is a cycle, that how this works. What will be the pathogenesis? There are several mechanisms that can be explained. Number one is shunting of substrate away from catabolism towards the lipid biosynthesis. So in this case, that more lipid biosynthesis occur, and the substrate will go away from the catabolism. Then impaired assembly and secretion of lipoprotein, as I already mentioned, that more liposynthesis, more lipid synthesis, and as a result will increase of the secretion of lipoprotein and decrease of the catabolism. Then increase peripheral catabolism of the fat. So what happened that catabolism in the liver reduced, but there will be, because obviously there will be a mechanism. If the catabolism reduced in the liver, then the catabolism started in the periphery, especially in the fat. So for alcoholic hepatitis, for example, the main thing that why this occur, we know that actually this alcohol contain ethanol, which is chemically C2H5OH. If you know chemistry, if you read chemistry in your school, when you know this thing that ethanol formula, what is C2H5OH and what is methanol, CH3OH. So actually they are chemicals of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. What happened that when someone drink alcohol, it will be metabolized into acetaldehyde, which is another chemical. So the transformation of the ethanol into acetaldehyde is producing a metabolite or byproduct, or producing a product that is toxic in nature. So the byproducts or the toxic products of ethanol, such as acetaldehyde, is toxic in nature, that causes cirrhosis. And not only this, then it is also responsible for production of reactive oxygen species, ROS, which initiate or can trigger cancer as well, hepatocellular carcinoma. And then it is also responsible for cytokinin mediated inflammation as well. What are the clinical features? Hepatic steatosis maybe give rise to hepatomegaly, which is enlargement of the liver with mild elevation of serum bilirubin and alkaline phosphatase. So what happened if a person drinking 15 to 20 years excessive drinking, then liver cirrhosis occur. And when we talk about alcoholic hepatitis, because of the virus hepatitis, it could be occur in weeks and months. So both are different aspects depending upon the causative agent or etiological agents. When we talk about the clinical features, there will be malaise, anorexia, weight loss, abdominal discomfort, hepatomegaly, and fever are the common clinical and signs and symptoms. How can we diagnose? There will be the laboratory findings such as check of the hyperbilirubinemia. It means that high bilirubin level in the blood. Then elevated alkaline phosphate is another biomarker to identify. Then neutrophilic leukocytosis, another thing. Serum alkaline aminotransferase. Then aspartate aminotransferase aspartate aminotransferase are elevated but usually remain below 500 units per ml. So again, these are the different clinical indicators to diagnose. Among those with end-stage liver alcohol disease, the immediate cause of death are hepatic failure, massive gastrointestinal hemorrhage, hepatorenal syndrome, or hepatocellular carcinoma. As we already discussed that they are also responsible for the releasing of ROS, which is reactive oxygen species, and they can trigger the carcinoma because they are free radicals, and they are responsible for hepatocellular carcinomas. And we already discussed that 10 to 20% patient can suffer from hepatocellular carcinomas. So thank you so much for today's lecture, and hope to see you again in upcoming lectures.